I didn't expect the hardest part of that day to be the waiting. Not the surgery. Not the fear. But the long, empty space where people were supposed to be. My name is Daniel Foster. I work construction. Framing, remodeling, whatever keeps food on the table. I'm not the kind of man people notice unless something's broken. And that morning, sitting in a hospital waiting room with a lukewarm coffee and a knot in my stomach, I wanted nothing more than to disappear into the background. My daughter, Lily, was 7 years old. She'd broken her arm trying to climb higher than the other kids at school. The doctor called it routine. I nodded, signed the forms, and pretended that word meant something to me. But when they wheeled her away, all I could think was how small she looked in that oversized hospital bed. Hospitals have a way of shrinking people. I sat down, elbows on my knees, staring at the floor tiles. White. Off-white. Cracked. I counted them without realizing it, like counting might somehow keep my mind from running to places I didn't want to go. That's when I noticed her. She was sitting alone, 3 chairs away. Straight-backed. Still. Like she'd learned not to take up too much space. A white cane leaned against her leg, carefully positioned so it wouldn't trip anyone passing by. Her hands were folded in her lap, fingers twitching slightly, tapping a quiet rhythm against her palm. She wasn't crying. She wasn't scrolling on her phone. She wasn't talking to anyone. People walked past her. Some slowed down. Some glanced at the cane and looked away. No one sat next to her. I told myself to mind my own business. I'd learned that lesson early in life. Keep your head down. Don't insert yourself where you don't belong. The world doesn't reward people like me for speaking up. But then her phone buzzed. She straightened instantly, lifting it with both hands. Her thumb hovered over the screen. She waited. A few seconds passed. Then more. The screen went dark again. She didn't sigh. Didn't curse. Just set the phone down slowly, like she was putting something fragile back where it couldn't hurt her. Something twisted in my chest. I thought of Lily. Of how she'd looked over her shoulder before they took her into surgery, eyes searching for me like she needed to make sure I was still real. Before I could talk myself out of it, I stood up. "Excuse me," I said softly. "I don't mean to intrude, but, would you like some company while you wait?" She turned her head toward my voice. Not exactly at me, but close. Close enough that I knew she was trying. "That's kind of you," she said after a moment. Her voice was calm, polite. "Practiced. But you don't have to." "I know," I said. "I just thought I'd ask." There was a pause. Long enough that I felt stupid for standing there. Then she nodded once. "All right," she said. "Thank you." I pulled the chair closer. The sound of it scraping against the floor made her flinch slightly, then she relaxed, forcing herself to stay still. "I'm Daniel," I said. "Sarah," she replied. "Nice to meet you." There was something careful about the way she spoke. Like she'd learned how to keep her voice steady even when her thoughts weren't. "My kid's in surgery," I said. "So I've got time." "So am I," she said quietly. Then corrected herself. "Well, my surgery." I glanced at the cane again, then back to her face. "Eyes?" I asked gently. "Yes," she said. "5th surgery." 5th. She didn't emphasize it. Didn't dramatize it. But her fingers curled tighter together, knuckles widening. "They keep saying this one has better odds," she added. "New method. Better equipment. You learn not to believe too hard." I nodded. I didn't pretend to understand. "That's a lot to carry," I said. She exhaled slowly, like she hadn't realized she was holding her breath. My father couldn't make it, she said. Important business trip. International. She didn't say his name. She didn't have to. I'm sorry, I said. She smiled faintly. It didn't quite reach her eyes. He's very successful, she said. People think that means he's always there. It doesn't. I bit back what I wanted to say. Anger isn't helpful when someone's already hurting. Instead, I asked, what were you like before all this? Before the darkness. Before hospitals became landmarks in her life. I used to design software, she said. Accessibility systems, actually. Ironic. Right? I also loved hiking. High places. Feeling the air change as you climb. That sounds incredible, I said. It was, she replied softly. I miss feeling capable. The nurse called her name. Then. Sarah stiffened instantly. Her shoulders tensed, like her body was bracing for impact. She reached out without thinking, fingers searching the empty air. I took her hand. Her grip tightened. Around mine. I'm scared, she whispered. I don't want to wake up alone. Again. Again. I'll be here, I said immediately. I promise. She squeezed my hand once, then let go as the nurse guided her away. Lily came out of surgery first. Groggy, cranky, and already demanding ice cream like it was a medical necessity. I stayed with her, but my eyes kept drifting toward the operating room doors. Sarah's surgery took hours. At some point, the atmosphere shifted. A man in a tailored suit walked into the waiting area, phone pressed to his ear, voice sharp and controlled. I'm here about Sarah Whitman, he said to the nurse. I'm her father. I recognized him instantly. Everyone would have. Elliot Whitman. Tech CEO. Magazine covers. Net worth that made headlines. She's still in surgery, the nurse said. Another hour, maybe more. He checked his watch. I have a call in 90 minutes, he said. Have her notify me when she's awake. He turned to leave. I don't know what made me speak. Maybe it was Lily's small hand gripping my sleeve. Maybe it was Sarah's words echoing in my head. She was terrified, I said. He stopped. Turned slowly. And you are, he asked. The person who sat with her when no one else did. His eyes flicked over me. My boots. My jacket dusted with sawdust. I don't recall asking for help. You didn't. I said calmly. She did. The air between us felt heavy. You don't understand my responsibilities, he said. No, I replied. But I understand being there when your kid needs you. His phone rang. He hesitated. Then answered it and walked away. Sarah woke up confused, disoriented, calling my name before she even knew where she was. I'm here, I said immediately. Lily waved from the doorway. Hi, she said brightly. I'm Lily. I have a pink cast. It has glitter. Sarah laughed and cried at the same time. Over the next week, we showed up. Every day. I came after work. Lily came after school. We talked. We sat quietly when words felt like too much. Elliot started coming too. At first, he hovered. Took calls in the hallway. Checked his phone. Constantly. But he stayed. Slowly, he learned how to sit without fixing. How to listen without interrupting. How to be present without trying to control the moment. The day the bandages came off. The room held its breath. I see light, Sarah whispered. I see color. Lily leaned closer. Can you see pink? Sarah nodded, tears streaming. Yes. I can see pink. Elliot took her hand like. He was afraid she might disappear. Her vision wasn't perfect. But her world was bigger. So was ours. Months later, I still think about that first moment. About how close I came to staying silent. Sometimes the biggest changes don't start with money or power or grand gestures. Sometimes they start with one simple question. Would you like some company? So I'll ask you. If you saw someone sitting alone, scared, waiting for hope, would you walk over? Or would you assume someone else would? Tell me in the comments.